Well, here's something you didn't know you wanted. This is a little holster that houses a Bic lighter and a can of WD-40. Well, why would you want something like that? Well, take the cap off. Yep, let's go inside and talk a little more about this. Alright, so now that we're inside, let me explain this a little further. I got a message from a buddy, Tom Conley, who sends me all kinds of funny stuff on Instagram. He had sent me a video, and it was this guy using this little flamethrower, and I thought that was pretty neat. And after I watched the video, I realized it's a product that someone sells. This company, Black Triangle, sells this holster here, okay, which is perfectly molded to hold a 3-ounce can of WD-40 and a Bic lighter so that you can line them up and then, you know, make a flamethrower. So Black Triangle does some different weapon stuff. In fact, what ended up happening was I told Tom, I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I got to get a hold of one. These are 25 bucks, but they're currently sold out. I reached out to the company and I asked if I can get one to just test out and try out. I thought that was really cool. They also sent me this. It just so happens that they make some synthetic knives that are, you know, non-metallic, so they can go through metal detectors and stuff like that. So that's a whole separate thing. I'm mentioning it here because I thought that was kind of cool. It's funny, I was way more interested in the non-knife thing than the knife thing. But this couldn't be cooler, by the way. They have this in a VHS tape, so it's all set up like a rental. Very, very cool. This one happens to be their Midnight Creeper. They have a bunch of different designs. They got a cool sticker here as well. Black Triangle. Very neat. But yeah, so this is all non-metallic. Even the clip here, there's no hardware. It's actually put together with this cordage. All right, so we have a basically G10 shank, which actually seems really nice and really comfortable. That'll be for a separate thing. I want to test this out and try some different, you know, penetration tests and just basically stab a bunch of stuff. But anyway, so this video is really on this item right here, which, by the way, has a Spanish name, which I'm probably not going to pronounce correctly because I can't pronounce anything, including English. It's spelled S-O-P-L-E-T-E. I want to say it's soplete, which translates basically to blowtorch. All right, so kind of cool. But yeah, so this one was a collaboration between Black Triangle. They're actually making them, and I think the company is out of Virginia, all-American company. And I think there's a collaboration with another company called Sneak Reaper. I forget the individual's name who runs it, but very interesting idea. So it couldn't be any more straightforward. You basically have the lighter that's mounted in there, all right? And you put your can so that obviously the nozzle is going to line up with where the flame is coming out. And you can do this one-handed. It definitely took a little bit of practice. But what you're supposed to do is you're going to light it and hold it with your middle finger here. So then you have obviously your pointer finger to be able to come down and spray. And this will stay lit as long as your finger's on there and the flame's going. So it's kind of cool. So it's not just a burst. I mean, of course, you can use it for a burst, or you can just keep it going. So here's a close-up of this. It did come with this cordage. Now, this cordage, obviously, you see there's some eyelets here. You could, you know, mount this any way you want. The cordage, obviously, would be used to fish through your belt loop on your pants. Just keep in mind, if you do that, to retain this, kind of like a fixed blade sheath or something, you're limited to, you know, whatever length you have. So like, let's say you did want to take this out in an emergency. I have to use air quotes there because this is certainly not the first go-to for self-defense, let's say, even though it's kind of pitched like that. There's actually a ton of reasons why you might want a flamethrower. Lighting something from a distance, maybe you have a bonfire going and you have some gasoline or something. You certainly don't want to light that up close. Maybe you do want to hit that from a couple feet away. That's kind of cool. Maybe you're outside on a patio and there's this big nasty spider or something and you want to hit that from a distance. I don't know. I don't really recommend it. I've actually tolerated spiders a lot more in recent years. I don't mind them, especially in my house. If they're big enough to, you know, fight back, I let them be. I don't even mind anymore. I don't care. They're killing all kinds of other bugs. I don't know. Maybe you're lighting a row of sparklers that are stuck in the ground. Hey, you do you. I'm not going to pretend like I know why you want a flamethrower, but If you want one, this is a very cool little setup here. This is 1,000,000% novelty and gimmick, but it is a cool one. The only thing I can say about this from testing this out is that it is difficult to get this WD-40 can out. All right, and when you put it in, you want to make sure it's properly positioned. So in other words, once it's in, it's kind of hard. You can't really get a great grip on it. The lighter's not too bad. Once the can's actually out, which you'd push from the bottom, and it's very smart they did keep this open. I just actually use like a ferro rod, something stiff that fits in here. You'd push on the bottom of the can, even to your thumb. It's a little sharp on the edges, so I wouldn't use your thumb for the whole thing, but you can use your thumb to kind of get that started if you want to grip it. But like I said, when you're actually putting this can in, there we go. So I was able to get it out just using the thumb. But when you put this can in, you want to obviously, you know, you can get it started a little bit, just like that, but make sure you line this up so the nozzle is correctly pointed, again, right over the circle on the lighter so that the flame is where you want that, you know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of play with it a little bit, because once you push this down, you can't rotate it. That's basically my point here. Now, obviously, if you are lefty, you would just swap it. So I'm using this right-handed, but if you're lefty, you just have the lighter orientated the other way, so you can use the other position here, you know, lighting with your left middle finger and spraying with your left pointer finger. All right, to be honest, it's actually, for some reason, just maybe because the bottle's not in there, I don't know, it seems like it was a little easier not actually doing this inside here. I don't know. It definitely takes a little bit of practice, but yeah. So very, very interesting product there. The little 3-ounce canisters, these are actually a little bit hard to find for me. Like if you go to gas stations or dollar stores, a lot of times they have the bigger canisters with like the, you know, adjustable straw or whatever. That's a whole separate thing. But this thing is just, it's cool. Like I said, there's just something about it. I really can't stop playing with it. It's just fun. Now this is made so that the bottom is flat, so you can put this on. They suggest an end table or something, like a nightstand. So if you need this in the middle of the night, and again, not sure why that would be your go-to, but hey, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. So yeah, very fascinating product. So like I said, at a later date, I will give this some testing. I want to get a hunk of meat. You know, summer's on the way, so I'll be doing some grilling. You know, maybe make some beef jerky or something. I'll get a big old rump roast and do some stab tests and stuff like that. It'll be kind of fun. Try it on, you know, I already stabbed a bunch of cardboard. The second I got it, came right out of the packaging and went right into cardboard, and it was very satisfying. And actually, this particular model, I do like this flared end here, which is very nice. All right, so on this butt end, just very comfortable. Obviously, you can rest your thumb in there for support. I did try some stabbing like this. Obviously, not as comfortable as a full, you know, reverse grip, but just, yeah, fascinating. Solid piece of G10. This is thicker, but it does come to a very nice point. Being thicker, it's going to be a heck of a lot stronger. Like, I can't even flex this at all. The thinner it is, you know, width-wise, the easier it would be to penetrate. But obviously, it can snap off if it's too thin. So, fascinating stuff, though. They have a bunch of different designs there. I just really love the 80s, you know, VHS tape thing. Even the 90s. Like, I'm a 90s kid. I was born in the 80s, but growing up in the 90s, you know, not only Blockbuster, but like my local, it was United Video was the name of my local mom and pop, you know, tape store. And it was a big deal. Friday nights, you go with the family, you pick out some movies, you know, and make sure, you know, be kind, rewind. You can't return them if you don't rewind them. Can you imagine that? Are you young enough that you have no idea what I'm talking about? Imagine like watching a movie. I can't even say a DVD because most of you kids stream everything. But imagine when you're done with a movie, you have to rewind it, like to the beginning, so that the next person who watches it can watch it from the beginning. That's right. That's what it used to be. Anyway, that's all. Black Triangle, brand new company that now I know about, thanks to my buddy Tom. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. But just super, super cool. I mean, who doesn't like a flamethrower? Anyway, I'm going to head back outside and play with this a little more. Maybe I will grab I don't know, like a roll of toilet paper or something. I need to hit something and light it on fire. The sun is just starting to go down, so it's kind of dusk. Great time to be throwing flames. So let's head back outside and have a little more fun with this before we go. All right, so I was going to grab some toilet paper and realized that I do not want to waste toilet paper. So instead I grabbed this piece of cardboard. So the wind is blowing which is not ideal because this thing is shaking. So I'm going to wait just a moment here until the wind's done, and then we're going to blast this thing. Alright, the wind's not dying down, so I just put a rock behind it. Hopefully it's stable enough. Here we go. Let's give this a shot. Alright, that's pretty much it. It works. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with That's Right, a brand new video.